The first thing I noticed when I walked out here, it just feels normal to have practice out here. I know some family members out here, but it just feels like a normal spring ball.
We're trying. I mean, we know there's still parameters we got to live by, especially on campus and a lot of the things that we're doing. But we're feeling like things are starting to move themselves back that way. We want our guys to be able to feel that way. It's just exciting. I mean, they like socialization every bit as much as the rest of us. And I think to be out here, even just to see some people, we maybe can't talk to them and things, just to see people, I think it really makes them feel a little better. It's been a long year.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean that. I mean been a long year. Not that I love spending time with Chad and Dan and those guys, but without having some of that, I think that these guys miss it as well.
Do you think it helps having a veteran group like experiencing this past year?
Oh, it definitely. I mean, if you had a group that was young last year and all the things we had to go through, it was going to be really difficult. We were very fortunate to have leaders, guys back that have been here for a while, whether Desmond Ritter, Kobe Bryant, Derek, those kinds of guys they're always valuable, but in a year like last year, you can't put a price on what they did for us. Well, it's some of the off-season stuff. It's some of the stuff out here where we're just, hey, what do you need to do specifically to get better? Because if they get better, they're going to make us better. And it's not like we script everything around just what Desmond Ritter needs or Kobe Bryant needs. But I promise you that if we do some things to make sure they're being challenged in different ways, in the long run, they're going to make all of us a lot better. No, we don't have. There's no such thing as vet rest days. No. But there might be fewer reps, But I think that where they take off the reps on their legs and maybe their back, like a Kobe, we put more stress on maybe on their minds and their hearts to make sure they're connecting and helping the young guys out.
Is it crazy to look back at, Desmond's journey here? He's already a senior now, excited to come back, but. I mean, you put him in the Rose Bowl, and now he's a veteran guy. It's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. It's kind of crazy to look back at.
It is, and we're still got the ability to be able to reach our number one goal with him is to get rid of all of Gino Guidugli's records and make sure that they forget about Gino really quick.
You're going to have to throw a lot this year.
Really? I don't even know where he's at.
He needs about 5,000.
Okay, well, let's just make him forget about him because we got a greater quarterback than what Gino did. Yards don't always matter. It's wins.
All those empty
It's
yards.
wins. Yeah, exactly. Because Gino would say that now those shovel passes and different things like that, those shouldn't count as passing yards, but it's wins.
Defense has been really good so far. Did it feel like today maybe the offense started to adjust and catch up a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, there's some things, like I said, that we need to do, put them in situations. I don't know if you noticed, we had a sudden change situation that, just trying to put the defense's backs against the wall, challenge them a little bit more, even on the mental side of things. So I think that, that's where we got to do a better job of responding. And sometimes you're not always going to have your Kobe's and your Mods out there, so we're putting some more pressure on some of those other guys, and that's a big part of it.
How much does it help to have a guy like Majay whose energy and motor is endless?
Well, it makes everybody better. And I don't just mean we talk about leadership makes the others around him better. He makes coaches better because you can't help but be excited about what it is you're doing. Because you got guys like that, guys that have a motor and energy like that. It's really contagious, but it's not just contagious for all the players. It's contagious for the coaches and myself.
Does it feel like he's taken even another step in his development?
He has. His ability to understand what emotional toughness is one of those next steps for him. And I think that we're starting to see, you can tell, maybe he doesn't take all the reps, but he's right in there helping the young guys and is really taking another step forward.
The bar keeps getting raised higher and higher. Do you feel it? Do they feel it?
I hope they do. The first people I wanted the whole high tides rise all ships, the first people I wanted to feel it was myself and the coaching staff. Because if the coaches feel it, if I feel it, I think by nature it'll trickle down to the others. And that's what having guys like Desmond Ritter and Kobe and those guys, Joel DeBlanc, that come back because they want more. That's the pressure that I think that puts it in the right places.
Sounds like John Williams has some crazy course luck when he's been out here.
No, he's doing great. It's one of those things when we started this, and even when we recruited him, to say, hey, if there's going to be guys that are going to be that kind of level academics, there's going to be some things that we have to take into consideration. And to have the aerospace engineering classes that might interfere a little bit, we got to be able to deal with it. But a guy like that is, even if he misses a few reps, is not going to fall behind because of his ability to, even study a little bit more, do things outside of even the practice field, and he's showing up. He's going to have a lot of challenges, with the Majes and those guys on the other side of the ball. It gives you a lot of challenges on an everyday basis.
I think I put 7 guys roll early. We've seen some of them. Will Rainey, Pauling, Amorion Smith.
There's a 15-play drive right there. Has a lot to do with those young guys right there at the end, just to give them a chance to play when all of a sudden the coaches aren't on the field and they actually have to kind of react and respond, and you actually see the smiles come back to their faces from just doing the winter conditionings and getting beat up in rope pulls and things like that. So I think they're starting to enjoy it, and that's what that's a part of growing.
How big of an advantage is it for those guys to get here?
It's a huge advantage. I mean, there's some really difficult things that they got to go through, but to be here for spring, to get their feet wet on training and recognizing and realizing that the people around you might be bigger, faster, and stronger, but it doesn't mean they have to be better football players. It's still about development, and it takes a first couple weeks of lifting to realize that, then it takes probably the first 5 or 6, 7 practices to start to realize, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Take on the rake so far.
On the rake.
You haven't heard that yet? Jimmy Smith called Mason Fletcher the rake.
Well, he hit the ball well. I could tell you this, that, I shouldn't say we've ever seen kick, but the ball definitely sounds like it's coming off his foot a little bit different. I think the 170 pounds to about 200 pounds has maybe changed a little bit of that power in that leg, and still got a ways to go. But there's big shoes to fill. What's that?
A lot of old faces around here tonight. Do you think you've got really
It's great to see. I mean, sometimes we're in the middle of practice, like, get these guys out of here. But the reality is when we came in here, we wanted to create an environment, an atmosphere where these guys felt like it was a part of their family, and they earn it, they own it, and then they represent it the rest of their lives. And when they come back, it shows you that they want to represent what it is that we've done and we'll continue to do.
Was Mike bugging you to get in and get some carries?
He's always bugging me. When he was actually at spring ball in his last year, he probably wasn't bugging me to get carries, but he's always there.
I took a look at a bunch of early polls today. You're anywhere from 7th to 11th. Is that what a top 10 team looks like?
The energy and things, yes. But I didn't know. I thought they only did polls on like elections and things like that. I thought we were done with that. So I don't know what kind of polls that you're seeing, or maybe you get them a little bit more in advance. But I hope I don't have to worry about the polls. But I know it's a team that feels different. It's a team that, like we talked about, with the expectations. But understand it's not just about winning the game. It's about doing the things you got to do to get yourself to those games.